want to talk a little bit about rhythm guitar. You know, a lot of times I think in general, especially on YouTube, I see a lot of stuff on lead guitar, which is great and it's fun, it's exciting. But I think quite often rhythm guitar is overlooked, and it's actually, in my estimation, more important. It really is. Because I spent, you know, probably 90% of my life playing rhythm, and the other 10%, you know, doing occasional solos or at least accompaniment. But I wanted to give an example of how to set a groove. So I'm in the key of G here, and I'm just working with a what I call just a regular G7th chord. So if you do your, you know, your bar G, your power, I guess it's called a power chord. If you just remove that pinky from that, you've got a G7th, a nice version of it. You know, the other G7 will be more folky. It's a little more folk, like a folk sound or folk blues or whatever. But this one is a little more on the blues side, I would think, you know. And what I'm doing is I'm doing a finger style, but you could do it with a pick as well. But what I'm doing is I'm leaving space between, so that if someone is either singing or phrasing, could be a sax player, whatever, piano, anybody, could play in between and they'd be comfortable playing. Because I think often if we're not careful, at least my experience is that if we don't leave a little bit of space in there for other instruments to interact with us, it gets muddly, you know, it gets kind of murky. So check it out. I'm just starting out really simply with just like a, it's really a shuffle. Okay, I'm just giving it really basic. I'm gonna go to C9 and back to a G7, right? Real basic. Then I'm gonna go to the 5 chord, D9. Let's walk it down to a C, and then back to a G. Now, it sounds ever so rudimentary, I know, when you're listening to it by itself. But actually, as I'm about to show you, if there's someone else, assuming you're playing with either, you know, maybe a bass player or you know, a lead instrument like a sax or something like that, a melody instrument, or a singer for that matter, you might be singing yourself. It's so effective to leave some space in between. And I'll give you an example. I'll sing a little bit and see. I'll just make something up. Oh, and I'll play a little bit as well. And I think you'll see what I mean. And then I'm going to give you an example of how to embellish that rhythm a little bit. Not overly embellish it, because again, we don't want to clutter it up too much, right? But I'll show you a couple moves that can dress it up a wee bit, okay? So here we go. I'm going to just, once again, play a... to a sharp 5 and a 5. So that's nothing more than a D9 sharp. So a D sharp 9 and then a D9. And if you don't know those 9th chords, it sounds like that. So in the case of a D9, it would be the 5th fret of the A string, 4th fret of the D string, 5th fret of both the G, the B, and the D. That's the part that gets tricky. If you can't do that, you can do it like this. Just do. But if you can't bend that, you can get that James thing. You can get that whole Prince sound. Okay, so now I'm gonna do the same thing I just did, playing a simple rhythm, but I'm gonna play a little lead with it and see what happens. So. Yeah. So what I'm really getting to today is not so much the licks or the, I'm not going to take that stuff apart because I do that at jimmydillon.com. I got a whole series of blues lessons and R&B and all that kind of stuff. That's available to you. But what I did want to do is sort of emphasize the importance of setting a groove and, you know, laying down a groove so that whoever's playing and singing with you, believe me, if you can get good at rhythm guitar, you will never have a lack of people to play with, man. I'll tell you, I swear to God. You know, there's a lot of people are showboaters, you know, and they play a lot of lead, but can they play good rhythm? And a lot of the good, I mean, Clapton's a killer rhythm player. He really is. If you listen to, you don't get a chance to hear him play that much, but he has a great feel for rhythm, you know, really right in the pocket. So I just wanted to kind of, you know, mention that today because I think it's sometimes overlooked. And in my estimation, it's really, really important. So keep on rocking out there and we'll see you down the road.